What is up, MOMnation? I am back. My name is Erin, and it is Energy Shift with Erin time. It's my normal Tuesday show where I bring you all things health, wellness, mindset, incorporating family wellness. All of those things are within my wheelhouse, and I am so excited to be back with you today. This is one of my favorite parts of the week. We have a lot of things in store for you guys. Also, we're working on some fundraising events throughout the summer. We're working on some collaborative efforts that will bring business owners together. And we also have introduced this energy shift show that I have been running for the past few weeks now. So if you haven't caught on these yet, that's totally okay. We have them on YouTube, so you can go and grab them and watch them or listen to them on your walk or whatever you want to do anytime that you want. So one thing about me is I am a multi-certified nutritionist, wellness coach, and practitioner. I follow functional health protocols, and I am a personal trainer. So what my main objective is to get to the root cause of everybody's main problem when it comes to their health, wellness, and mindset goals. I believe that all of those three things work in conjunction with each other to make us the best versions of ourselves. And if we show up as the best versions of ourselves, we can also show up as the best versions of our inner being to the world and to our families, so that they can also be the best versions of themselves. If you've noticed, like, if you feel chaotic in life, your home life also often feels chaotic as well. So what I want to talk about today actually is my specialty, which is perimenopause wellness. I primarily work with women who are stuck in some capacity of their health and wellness goals in perimenopause. So we're talking age range from 35 to 55 usually, sometimes a little bit older than that, up into the 60s. And then I also work with women who are postmenopausal as well, to help balance hormones, have a healthier lifestyle, build lean muscle mass, and to lose body fat if needed and or wanted. What I wanted to chat with you guys about today is how to start, if you're not there yet, how to start prepping yourself for the hormonal changes and the body composition changes that come with mid-age perimenopausal shifts, as well as making sure that you are healthy and ready for that phase of life and beyond. Because I wish somebody would have told me this. Nobody told me that my life was going to change so dramatically, and my reaction to my body's reaction to different variables was going to change so dramatically, like almost all of a sudden as soon as I turned 35. So if you don't know my story, I was 35. I was in a highly abusive relationship. I ended that relationship, ended an engagement, and kind of like set out on life on my own at 35. And I was a new business owner at the time. So, of course, that created a different level of stress on top of everything else. And we all know that stress and cortisol can lead to health problems, fat gain, inflammation, gut health issues, all of that stuff. And I was experiencing all of it. But what I did not realize was that perimenopause can start as young as 35. And so that was part of the problem too, is like I was gaining weight, I was inflamed, I was not feeling good. And I didn't realize, I didn't have any idea whatsoever that part of that could potentially be the early phases of perimenopause in my late 30s. Well, I was able to override my nutrition, overhaul my nutrition, get myself into a healthier lifestyle. I've always been a gym girly. Okay. So, I mean, maybe not always, but in my 20s, 30s, and now, of course, my 40s, I am an avid gym goer and I was really into exercise. In my 20s, it was more running. And then in my 30s, I was introduced to weight training, which really, I think, saved my life and saved my hormones and all these crazy things that were happening, especially during that highly stressful time in my life. So I want to talk to you about that and what we can start to do to either like mitigate the symptoms that you're currently experiencing or make sure that you're set up for success for the best possible outcome as we transition into middle age. And I think that it's an opportunity, especially because a lot of you will have older kids and you're not dealing with the toddler and the little kid stage anymore. So you do have more time to work on you and your health goals, maybe reconnect with your spouse a little bit, and those kinds of things that you've been wanting to do, but you've been busy raising little ones. So for me, the 35 and above is a new beginning, a new phase of life where we can really become the truest versions of ourselves as women, and especially because the earlier phases of our lives are often in a caregiving capacity or caregiving role. And not to say that you're not still doing that, but it changes, as your kids reach adolescence and then teenagehood and then later teen years, and then of course young adulthood. So here's what we got to do. Okay. This is going to be extremely beneficial. One is protein. I know I talk about protein a lot. I think my friends make fun of me because I'm sitting here with if you are looking for a protein powder to drink this summer when it's hot, Seek is your jam. You got to do it. And I think I actually have a discount code on TikTok. If you're on TikTok, let me know for Seek protein powder, but we buy it in bulk. It's fruit flavored. So this one is watermelon. You just add water. So you don't get that like gritty, milky, there is some, I didn't do a good job of shaking it up, but you still don't get that like gritty, milky, thick shake like protein drink that we're used to. It's more of like a nice, like you could sit by the pool. I add ice to it and sip on it. You could even add, start with regular water, and then you could add some like bubbly water to it to give it a little bit of a fizz. You could add some fruit to it. But anyway, we want to prioritize protein. And the reason why is that as soon as we hit 30, our muscle mass starts declining. That's when our hormones start shifting. And especially after the age of 35, our muscle mass is going to naturally decline over time. This happens for a lot of reasons. Again, one, hormones play a role, but two, we tend to move a little bit less. We have less active jobs. We maybe are promoted at work. We aren't picking up toddlers anymore. So we're not utilizing our muscles as much. So if you're not a girly that is in the gym all the time, you are losing muscle mass and we have to mitigate it. Most adults are under consuming protein pretty dramatically. So what we want to do is make sure that you're getting at least 100 grams of protein a day. It isn't hard to do because this has, I think, 22 to 25 grams of protein per scoop. So, and I just use 1 scoop a day. And then the rest of the time, I'm just eating whole food based protein sources. So think chicken, turkey, lean steak, lean ground beef, fish, shrimp, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, all of those things will fit into your protein budget for the day. And if you snack and prepare your meals surrounded by protein, you will easily be getting at least 100 grams a day. If you have other goals, that's always something that we can talk about too. Feel free to DM me if you want to lose body fat or gain muscle or that kind of thing. You will need a more specific protein goal, but I think 100 grams or more a day is a really good jumping off point, especially to mitigate the muscle mass of our 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond. The reason why you want to do this is because muscle is the key to anti-aging and health. It is our most metabolically active tissue, meaning that it takes a lot more calories to feed the muscle. This is why women often see weight gain around the age of 40 to 45, because we've spent our 30s losing muscle. We've maybe spent them dieting or overdoing cardio, and so we have less muscle mass than we did in our 20s. So that loss then becomes harder, and it's not necessarily because of your age. It is because of the fact that we have spent a lot of time not prioritizing our metabolic tissue. And so what happens is we're not able to eat enough. Like, we call it BMR, or basal metabolic rate. It's the amount of calories your body needs to survive. So the more muscle you have, the higher your basal metabolic rate is. And this is important because that means that you can consume more calories overall without gaining body fat. And we want that. We want that especially in middle age. And we want that all of the time, right? Like, even if you don't have a body composition goal, you might not necessarily want to gain body fat. If you want to gain weight, that's a different situation. We want to gain muscle. We don't want to gain body fat in most situations. Okay. So prioritizing protein is number one. Weight training, resistance training, something heavy, ladies, because I know you've been picking up 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds that weigh like 30, 40, 50 pounds. And then we go to the gym and we're picking up these like dinky little weights. You are stronger than you think you are. You need to, if you're working out at home, totally cool. If you're working out at the gym, also cool. But find yourself a progressive overload-based strength training program that will help you to continue to maintain muscle mass or build more muscle mass, depending on what your goal is. Look, we're not going to get jacked. We're not going to get overly muscular without trying. That includes eating in a very specific way in a caloric surplus, like lots and lots of protein, lots and lots of calories, oftentimes pharmaceuticals like intervention, and like for women to get big. What you're going to get is that long, lean muscle that everybody wants, that toned look that we want to like see on our bodies. Such a huge shift in our behavioral patterns and our thoughts and the way that we treat our bodies is understanding, one, you're not going to get bulky, and two, lifting heavy weights, challenging yourself. I call it ugly face weight. So like by the end of, let's say you do 3 sets of squats, the last 2 reps of each set, your face contorts. It feels difficult. That is going to help you maintain or build muscle, depending on what the goal is. And you need to do one, if not both. Usually, ladies in our 30s, 40s, and 50s do need to build a little bit of muscle mass. Now, you might not want as much as I do, or whatever. It doesn't matter how much muscle you want. What actually matters is like having the metabolic stability and health to keep yourself healthy long term. And the more muscle you have, the easier it will be to remain healthy into your older ages. So lack of lean muscle mass also contributes to things like insulin resistance, hormonal instability, or hormonal changes that are beyond what are already happening in perimenopause and menopause. If we are dramatically cutting back on foods, whole food sources like carbohydrates, we have thyroid issues. There are a lot of factors here that really need to be identified so that, like, again, we're not even talking about changing your body composition. Will this change your body composition? Yes. If you have a fat loss goal or a muscle gain goal or whatever the case may be, that can all happen at the same time. But we're not even talking about that at this point. We're just talking about maintaining your health and wellness so that you can stay strong. This is also going to help with bone density. So nobody wants to be that older person who has to be helped down the stairs all the time. These are the kinds of things that you're going to be able to do if you have these systems in place. And the last thing is whole food based nutrition. Most of us are fiber deficient. So we have major inflammatory and gut health issues. Inflammation is like the root cause of most disease. So if we can lower our inflammatory response by just shifting our nutritional intake to having more fruits and vegetables, eating more fiber sources, beans are a great one. If you like beans, like hook yourself up with some beans a lot of the days of the week and you will hit fiber goals. Have a fruit or vegetable with every meal. Even if you blend it into a smoothie in the morning, you're still going to get the nutrients out of that food. And most of the time I see women in middle age are malnourished. And this doesn't mean that you're not eating enough calories. We're not eating enough nourishing food to make sure that our bodies stay healthy and happy. So we're then experiencing, again, inflammation, fat gains, sleep disturbances, mood swings, hot flashes, all of the things that go with perimenopause and menopause, but at a more extreme capacity. And we can lower, perimenopause is going to happen no matter what. If we can deny it or we cannot deny it, but it's going to happen. So we might as well set ourselves up for success in that phase of life. So if we're trying to build balanced meals, and you can do this, so this is going to simplify your life as well. You don't have to come up with this elaborate meal plan. We want 5 to 6 ounces of lean protein on your plate. You can make this smaller for your kids depending on their ages, but same thing, whatever protein source your kids will eat, 5 to 6 ounces. You want about a handful and a half of fruits or vegetables on each plate. You want about a handful of whole food carbs. So that's going to look like half of a sweet potato, some rice, like a cup and a half of rice, some quinoa, yams, those kinds of things, pasta even. Those are great sources of carbohydrates, whole grain bread, all of these things that are going to bring nutrients and energy and help protect the thyroid hormone. And then we want to have a small bit of fat. A little bit of fat is going to help you to stay full. It's going to help with your hormones. Fat is imperative for female hormonal health. So healthy fats, we're talking avocado, olive oil, a little bit of cheese, maybe nuts, nut butter. Stay away if you can from the more sugary nut butters, but like and I know that they're pricey. So if they feel a little, maybe save those for yourself and let the kids have the more sugary nut butters, depending on what your budget is. That is up to you. But again, using those as a garnish to keep yourself full, to keep your hormones in check, to keep yourself regulated and balanced with your meals. And that is how you do it. It's just as simple as that. It's about a little over a thumb size of fat. So that's what that looks like for a full balanced meal for yourself and your family. And then you can add like dipping sauces or whatever, like if you make chicken and the kids want to dip it in honey mustard or barbecue sauce or whatever the case may be, that's totally fine. But you have your nutrient profile, you have your protein to maintain your muscle mass, and you have your fruits and vegetables, you have your carb source. So we're nutrient balanced. We have our fiber, so our gut health is in check. We have our carbs, so our thyroid is in check. So we're lowering inflammation. We are making sure that we are regular. That's also important. So a lot of times people come to me and they're either having loose bowel movements or they're constipated. That's an indication of a problem as well. We're having more regular sleep practices, and I'm going to get into a few supplements that we can use to improve sleep and to just improve our energy levels. Vitamin D3 during the day, most of us are deficient in vitamin D, so take that with breakfast. You always want to take it with food. And then magnesium, I use a magnesium breakthrough. If you need the link, shoot me a message. I will get that directly over to you. I just get it on Amazon. It has, I think, 7 or 8 different kinds of magnesium. So whatever we are deficient in, we want to take that before bed so that we can relax and rejuvenate and get better sleep. So just really those two things, in addition to a multivitamin, everyone should be taking one. Fish oil supplement. Yes, we are getting a little bit older, so our joints need some lubricant if you can, and a probiotic for your gut health as well. And something, this is just like the icing on the top of the cake, but green tea feeds our healthy gut microbiome, our healthy gut bacteria. So I make sure that I have green tea every single day. And since then, my digestion has been on point. I had to take some antibiotics in February for an ear infection, which, fun fact, ladies, this is something that you should watch out for that I did not know. Our skin gets drier in perimenopause age. So if you have noticed that your ears are really itchy, it's because your ear skin is drier and flaking off into the ear canal, and it can create ear infections. It's gross, I know, but nobody told me this. Nobody told me. And so then I went to my doctor. I had all of these problems. I'm telling you, I thought I had MS. My hands and feet were tingling. I was lightheaded. My husband had to drive us back. We're half in Mexico, half in Arizona, had to drive us back to Arizona so I could see my primary care physician. He kind of like scoffed me off. And it wasn't actually until I went to the gym and I was wearing these over the ear headphones and my ears were killing me. And I've never, like, sometimes they're sore from headphones, like the difference between soreness and like pain is like soreness from pressure and like pain inside the ear canal. And I was like, I think I have an ear infection. So then I went home and Googled the symptoms and they were everything that I had. And so then I just call in a round of antibiotics. I had to do 2. And luckily we live in Mexico, so it's a little easier to get them here. But then of course it messes with your gut health. So I implemented the green tea protocol. I make sure every single day I start with green tea and I have a Greek yogurt so that I am feeding the healthy gut microbiome or the healthy gut bacteria in order to make sure my digestion is on point, make sure my gut health is on point. This also helps with mental health, ladies, because our gut is responsible for like 90% of serotonin production throughout the body. So that's like our feel-good chemicals. So if your gut is off and you're feeling anxious and you're feeling moody and you're feeling sad or depressed or whatever the case may be, all of those things are linked together. And if you're constipated and or have loose bowel movements, that is connected as well. So like if you're having all of these things at the same time, fixing the gut health and making sure that your gut is happy and healthy is a game changer. So that's it. That's what I got for you today. We need muscle. We need protein to feed that muscle. We need adequate calories and balanced meals to make sure that we are nutrient balanced. We need proper gut health. We need an inflammatory protocol to make sure that we are as healthy as we possibly can be because 40 is not old, okay? 80, like we'll just call, I think we're going to do 80. 80 is when we get old. And I am planning on being the most capable, strongest 80-year-old I possibly can be. So if that's you too, let's connect because I want to be friends with you. But also, I hope that this was helpful. If you guys ever need anything, I have home workout templates. I have gym workout templates. I have whole food crock pot guides, cottage cheese, like all kinds of recipes. Let me know what you need, totally free. And of course, like we can talk more in depth about coaching if you feel like you need more one-on-one help, but I have so many resources at your disposal. And being a part of this group means that you get access to those just by being in this group, because I am now a co-admin. I'm in the fam. You're in the fam. We're in the fam. So let me know what you need. Let's get you what you need. I have grocery lists. I have all kinds of goodies. So just reach out and let me know what you need help with specifically, because that will help me determine through my arsenal of all of the things that I have, what I can get for you, because we don't want to overwhelm. Everybody wants everything all at once, but what that does is create overwhelm and decision fatigue, and then we don't do anything because we go into this like freeze mode. So let's pick one thing. What do you need? Do you need to start working on muscle? Do you need to start working on balanced meals? Do you need to start working on some gut health protocols? We can do it all. Just let me know. Shoot me a message. I'm excited to talk to you, and I hope that this was helpful for you. If you are pre-35, start this now. I wish somebody would have told me. And luckily I was into the gym already. So I had a head start on my muscle. I did not have a good head start on my gut health. I wish that I had, but it doesn't matter because I'm here now and I'm here to help you do it as well. I hope you guys all have a fantastic rest of your day and a fantastic rest of your week, and we will talk soon.